If you are new to Close CRM or you've been in it for months and you still feel like there's just something missing, then this video is going to help you lock it in. We've built hundreds of Close CRM accounts over the years for sales teams, founders, and operators. And most of the time, almost all the time, I see the same thing. People are either underusing it or they're misusing it. So we just don't know what features to ignore, what settings actually matter, or how to set it up for how they actually work. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to use Close CRM the way it was actually meant to be used, from sending emails and text messages to using the actual built-in dialer, smart views, workflows, lead tracking, reporting, etc., and everything in between. So if you're brand new, this will save you hours. And if you're already using Close, I promise there's functionality that you're just not taking advantage of yet. And once you do, it'll change how you work. It'll change how you use close.com. So we'll dive right in. All right, so as mentioned, we're going to dive right in. Now, I wanted to list out all of the things here that we are going to be covering in this video, so you can skip ahead if maybe you don't need some of this, but we are going to be covering every single thing that you could need, from inbox management, calling, email, and text message, lead profiles, lead stages, custom activities, opportunity pipelines, workflows, email and SMS templates and how to build those, settings, and E2P, which is a really, really important part of being able to send text messages inside of the systems, smart views, filtering, the dialer, and then if you stay to the end, we're going to be going over custom objects as well. So we'll dive right into Close and get started. So when it comes to inbox management, their inbox is going to be here in the top left-hand corner, and there is actually quite a bit you can do in here, just small features that a lot of people are not paying attention to. So inside of here, if you click the drop down right here, we can see inbox, done, and future. So these are tasks that were from the past. Future will be upcoming, and then inbox is everything else. Okay, we do have primary emails, calls, SMS, tasks, and reminders. So you can kind of filter by those as your inbox fills up. It is going to get more and more messy. That leads me to something that we need to talk about when it comes to inbox. You have to make sure you keep your inbox clean. I recommend less than 50 items at any given time in a sales rep's inbox, even if that's you as the founder. Make sure you keep that clean. It will save you a ton of time. It'll prevent deals from slipping through the cracks. Okay. Now, in the top right-hand corner, we have a few different things here. You can click on this, and if you are an admin, you can actually filter by different users inside of the system. So if you want to go review a sales rep's inbox, I highly, highly recommend doing that. So you just select that user. You can go in, you can see what tasks they have created, how many actual items they have in their inbox, and you can see if they're properly managing the inbox or not. Okay, so super useful option right here. Now you can also sort by due date, so ascending or descending by due date. Pretty straightforward on that side of things. You have a select all option right here where you can snooze your items until a given time, or you can mark them done. Now, when you click on an actual item here, let me go and check this. When you click on an actual item, it's going to pop up and it's going to give you the information. So you can see here was a missed call, and there is no lead associated with this. So you can create a lead, you can assign a lead, or you can call that phone number back. You can click done or snooze. If it's a task, like this is a follow-up opportunity created by the system, I can either email that person, call them, or click done. Now you can always also click on the lead itself, and then you're going to open up the lead profile. And that moves us right into the calling, texting, and email piece of this video. So obviously the whole point of a CRM is to be able to communicate with your potential leads, your clients, whoever that may be. So calling is super straightforward. Now we're going to go through the settings, which will show you how to set up calling. But for this part of the video, all you have to do is go to a lead profile and then click the call button right here to actually make a call. Okay. You can also click here and log a call. So let's say you do something on your cell phone and you want to actually log that call. You can click log call. SMS, super simple as well. When you click the SMS button, you'll see a piece pop up here on the timeline. It'll show you your phone number. So if you have multiple phone numbers, you can choose which phone number this is actually sending from. It'll send you who you're sending it to. So see how there's 2 contacts on this lead. You can see that it gives you the option to send to either of those. And then you have templates. So you can actually come in here and make sure your sales reps or you have templates set up. So we can click, hey, no show, and it's going to automatically create that message. Okay. You can click here and actually attach existing, or you can browse existing files or upload from your computer. So if you want to attach a photo or a document, you can do that. And then you also have the option to add a scheduling link. Okay. And we'll go through the settings on that as well of how you actually get these meeting links inside of there. Now, that is pretty straightforward. So that is calling, texting, and then emailing is very similar. Let me open up a closed account where I have an email attached. So let's go ahead and go in here and we're going to search for Jordan Park and let's just go to this lead. Perfect. So we can click email right here, and then we can see very simple. We have the from section, the to section. We have the subject line. We have templates that we can choose from on the right-hand side, and then we have all the other information. Now, something to note is there sometimes is hidden inside of here the template tags, and we'll go through that again in the settings section of how to create email templates, et cetera, et cetera. But really, really straightforward. You can just pretty much fill this out, type whatever you want. Now, something to note is your email signature does not need to be in here because you set that up inside of settings. Once again, we'll go through all the settings for email, phone, and voicemail. But you can see the email signature is right here. So you don't need to include it in your email. If you do, it'll actually double it. So yeah. Next up is the lead profile. So we'll come back into the lead profile. And the lead profile is pretty straightforward, but there is a lot of information on here. So in the top far left-hand corner, you can see your name. So this is either the business name or your that person's name. So this is considered the lead name. If you hit this plus icon right here, you can see the contact name and the company name, and that will go up here. If you put both, it'll put the company name up. It'll try to populate the little URL icon here based on what it has for that information's lead on the website. And then you have your lead statuses right here. So if you click on this dropdown, we have all of our lead statuses. We're going to go through lead statuses in a moment, how to get these, how to set them up, best practices, but that is how you view them on the lead profile. Okay. You can also click on the 3 dots right here. You can edit the name. You can share the contact with someone. You can enroll them directly into a workflow. You can merge it with another lead in the system. You can click visibility summary, which is going to give you a summary of the lead. You can delete it, and then you can search, Google search the person with the integration link that's actually attached. All right. So pretty straightforward there. Again, we have notes, email, SMS, calling, and activities up here in the top right-hand corner. Now, activities, I'm going to show you how to create these, but these are very, very helpful. Basically, that is similar to a playbook in HubSpot and allows you, for example, to have curated information when that is submitted. So instead of the sales rep having to fill out, copy and paste like a template every single time, that template's already created. They just select the information, and then it ensures that your operations are super clean because you're getting the same information every single time. Okay. Now, on this actual lead profile, we're going to be able to scroll through here and see all kinds of different stuff. So on this one, you can see we have some emails here. We have some SMS. We have new activity, right? We have a proposal activity. We have a call completed activity. And that is coming from, again, this section right here. All right. Now, some of these profiles are going to be super, super long. You're going to have tons of information in this middle section. So you can use the search over here to search up any leads or information inside of here. So keywords, people, activities, etc. You can also click on the filter icon right here, and that is going to pop up this. So maybe I only want to see, custom activities where there is a proposal, right? So I want to look at all proposals, and boom, now I can see all the proposals. Okay. You can also just do notes, emails, SMS, calls, meetings, exactly what you want. So maybe I just want to look at SMS with this client, and there you go. Now, actually, I have these checked right here. So, but SMS, there we go. We can see what SMS has actually been sent. We can also sort by users, contacts on the profile, and then how long or when the activity actually happened. That activity date is over here on the right-hand side. Pretty straightforward. Now you can see here when an SMS comes in, you can reply directly right here. You can dock the conversation, so it'll actually put it in the bottom right-hand corner, and then you can actually copy a link. Okay. So pretty straightforward. You also have the important tab. So this will bubble up what it considers inbound communication, notes, custom activities, etc. Conversations, this is calls and meetings, and then notes and summaries. Okay. Now up here, this is the AI summary that is generated based on the lead profile. So you can give a little thumbs up or thumbs down. You can click here and copy the summary, and it's going to say basically what has happened with the lead based on the custom activities, the opportunities, etc., etc. Okay. Now, in the top left-hand corner, we do have add address, we have the domain, and then we have a description. Okay, you can fill this information out manually or have an automation do it, but this information is over here on the left-hand side. Next up is tasks. Tasks are very, very important. We always want to create tasks for follow-up leads or whatever we want. So send proposal might be a task that we want to create, for example. So proposal. And then you select a user. So you can assign it to someone else inside of the system, right? Or we can assign it to ourselves. In this situation, I'm going to create a task for myself. I'm going to say that task is for Friday. I'm going to say I want it completed at 2 p.m. And then you click create task. Okay. Now that's going to go into the future section of the inbox that we showed you earlier until that day. And then it's actually going to pop up there. You can click the pencil icon to edit. You can mark it as complete, or you can add a comment to that. All right. Opportunities. Now, this is where your general like sales pipeline comes into. And again, we're going to show you how to, look at the opportunities themselves in a later moment of this video. But on the lead profile, you can see the opportunity right here. You can expand it by clicking on this. You can see what contact is associated. You can add a note. You can add contact property fields right here via automation or yourself. And then you can delete the opportunity. So pretty straightforward. You can also click the plus icon right here, and you can add an opportunity. So you pick what stage of the pipeline or what pipeline it is actually in. You select the close date, the confidence, assigned to, the contact that it is assigned to, right? And then you can add any notes, upload files, add other properties, and then click save, and that'll create the new opportunity. So pretty straightforward there. Now contacts, very similar. You can hit the plus icon. You can add a contact, right? And then you can add a phone number or an email. So jordan@revpilot.co, right? And it'll save that extra contact there. Now you can email, text, and call directly from here. If you see these buttons grayed out, that means that it doesn't have a phone number. Okay, so if I add a phone number to this, then we'll be good to go. So come in here, you can enroll a specific contact instead of the lead to a workflow. You can view activities associated with that person. You can make them the primary, so that'll move me up to the top. You can also grab this little thing right here and do that, and that'll make the primary contact on that profile. And then you can do a LinkedIn search. So like if you have an integration link, I can click this and it'll actually go do a LinkedIn search. And lastly, on the left-hand side, we have custom fields. So we have lead owner, Fathom recording link, current CRM. We'll show you how to set up custom fields, but you can really choose exactly what you want. You can do text fields, money fields, number fields, drop downs, rich text fields, whatever you want, and you can add those over here. If you have ones you want to add, you can just come in here, super straightforward. Data call was, let's say today, boom, done. That is now on there, okay? So in short, it's a really, really clean view of a lead profile. And that is pretty much everything you can do on a lead profile itself. So the next is lead stages. So for lead stages, these ones up here that I talked about briefly, you can either click customize right here, or you can just go to settings and then to statuses and pipelines, okay? And in here, we're going to have our statuses. Now, what statuses you use, that is completely up to you and your sales process. We highly recommend that typically you have no more than 8 statuses total. Something to note about a status is it is the relationship of that lead to your company, right? So it's very similar, like a life cycle stage inside of HubSpot. You want to be very careful of having 20, 30 different lead statuses in here running your entire organization off of these different lead statuses, okay? So looking at this list, it is a little longer than 8. So what would I do? Well, I would probably remove some of these, right? Stale lead. We could, combine HubSpot partner. I would put as a custom property. I would not have that as lead status. So that's a really good example. Why it shouldn't be a lead status. It should be a custom property. And then they would be, in potential or, inactive client, whatever it may be. So pretty straightforward. All you do is click, you type in test and click add, and then boom, it's going to add it right there. And then you can drag it up and down, and then you can copy it per API. You can delete it, or you can edit it. So super straightforward. Best practice there. Again, just make sure you limit the amount of lead statuses. A lot of accounts we come into, there's like hundreds of lead statuses, and it doesn't need to be. It also gets very confusing. So next up is custom activities, and you're going to find these in the settings section as well. So if you click on settings, you're going to click on custom activities right here. And we have a bunch of custom activities. You are probably going to see 2 or 3 demo ones from close.com themselves. So when we come in here, if you want to create a new activity, you just hit the plus icon in the top right hand corner, and we're going to call this YouTube. Okay. And we're going to click save. Now, what it allows us to do is add properties. So we're going to click add field, and we're going to do YouTube video, and then we're going to do drop down. Let's do a drop down select, right? And it's going to be video 1, video 2, video 3. And maybe this is like the video that they clicked on YouTube before they came into your CRM. Okay. So what you want to do is have an automation that selects video 1, 2, or 3 when they do that. Alternatively, you could ask them on the sales call, hey, what YouTube video did you see? And how did, and then the sales rep can just select from the drop. So we're going to click that. Now, maybe we add date of activity, right? We're going to throw a date in here, and we're going to add that. And then we're going to add lead owner. And this is going to be a drop-down select as well. Or sorry, a user select, just like that. And boom, now we have a custom activity. Okay. And a sales rep can go in here and select this and fill these pieces of information out at the time. Now, when would you use custom activities typically? Well, that's going to be for a call completed, call not completed, booking made, a proposal sent, a proposal completed, a proposal needed, whatever it may be. Okay. I hand off to a different team or team member, and I highly recommend you use these. If you look at ours, and we have a whole nother video on this, we have new activity, we have new purchase. So this is maybe they opted in for a webinar or VSL. We have new purchases. That's a front end purchase. We have call book, contact made, call completed, call not completed, proposal, deal won, deal lost. And then you can even go into fulfillment. Okay. And we can put whatever properties we want on these. If you don't have a property on here, you just go ahead and create that property. Okay. So super straightforward. Then it brings me into custom fields. So you get to select and set up as many custom fields as you want, depending on what plan you're on. Now, the thing to note about custom fields is you have leads, contacts, and opportunities. And these are in different parts of your contact, right? Or your lead. So this is actually on the lead profile itself. This is on the contact, and this is on the opportunity. All you do is hit the plus icon. Looks very similar to the last property we created. You just type in whatever you want, and then select your type of dropdown that you want, or your type of thing you want. Maybe we want to do a number, and then field options, you can share the field or restrict the field. And there you go. That's how you create custom fields. You can use them for all kinds of different things. Applications, application questions. You can use them for lead sources or URL parameters that you want to send over to be able to properly track, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So we've covered so far inbox management. I'm just looking at my paper over here. Inbox management, calling, texting, and emailing, lead profile, lead stages, custom activities, and custom fields. So now we're going to look at opportunities, and that is in the top left-hand corner. So when we click on opportunities, you can see here, we have a bunch of different opportunities. Now, these are based on, if you go to settings and back to statuses and pipelines, you'll be able to create your pipelines down here. Okay. So you can add a pipeline. You can right here, just click new pipeline. We'll call this YouTube for now. And then once that pipeline is created, you will see it somewhere in here. Where'd it go? Right there. And then you can add stages. So new lead, right? And that's an active lead, new lead, call booked, for example, deal won, and then deal lost. Okay. And then you have this drop down right here. So we want to mark it as lost. Now, if you notice, I made a mistake here because I said deal one was active. You can't change this afterwards. So all you would need to do is delete that and then come back in here and do deal one. Make sure this is marked as 1 and then click add. Okay. Now, when we come into our pipeline, if I click on this little pipeline icon drop down, we can see YouTube. And boom, now we can see our different stages that we're in here. Now, something to note is you can see the deal won and deal lost is missing from the pipeline. And these are the small things that are like going to help you so much inside of close and save a ton of time. Again, if this is something you don't want to build out or you need support with it, just find the link. There should be a link somewhere in this video description or on the website, and you can schedule time to talk with me or someone on my team. We built hundreds of close accounts, but on the top right-hand corner, just click on options and you'll see status. We want to change this to all statuses, and boom, now we have our deal lost and deal won. Why that's not on by default, I'm not quite sure. Close, if you're watching this video, that would be a really nice feature to add that in there. It'd be better to turn it off when we don't want it than turn it on when we need it. Then you can turn on lead status, attach the contact, notes, and custom fields. And let me go to an actual pipeline that has data in it for you guys so you can kind of see this. So we can see the pipeline here. We can click on options. We can turn on lead status. It'll show potential there. Contact, it just adds the contact. Notes, adds any notes. Custom fields, adds any custom opportunity custom field. Okay. Up here, we can sort by all kinds of different things. So ascending or descending for close date, creation date, actual value, expected value, confidence, last updated, or users. Okay. Pretty straightforward. And then over here on the left-hand side, we can change this to expected or created. And this is really important for opportunities. So this is the expected date of closing. This is the created date of the opportunity itself. So do we want to look at when it was created or when the expected close date is? And it depends on what you're doing. So keep that in mind. You can drag these directly over into other pipelines. So you would in like HubSpot or whatever else. You can edit the opportunity right there. You can delete it or you can leave a comment. Okay. If you click on the actual opportunity right here, it'll take you to that lead profile. And then you can sort by smart views. So if you have a smart view, you can actually filter your opportunities based on those smart views. And then lastly, all users, you can select what users you want to look at. So maybe you just want to look at a single sales rep's pipeline and see what they have inside of there. Okay. So again, you can have multiple pipelines. You can have different stages inside the pipelines. You can add the statuses over here to make sure you can see all of the actual pipeline stages. And then you can customize the appearance as well as sort however you want inside of opportunities. So pretty straightforward on opportunities are very, very helpful. It's a great view to be able to look at it like this. You can also click on list right here. And instead of viewing it in that, you can look at it like this, which is really nice because you can sort by, level of confidence pretty easily. You can do all kinds of different stuff. So you can sort right here by confidence, and we can see here's all the deals and what level of confidence they have, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So hopefully that is helpful for you guys. Next up is workflows, and workflows are going to be very, very important. And you can do all kinds of stuff with workflows. Workflows are typically going to be like a post call thing. So maybe they didn't close and we want to continue to follow up with them. Maybe we want to send them a message as soon as they book a call, letting them know that we have their appointment scheduled. You can do all kinds of different things. We have another video that you can check out on how to set up workflows and the best practices of how to set them up as quickly as possible, but I'll cover it in this as well. So we just click new workflow. And then we have a trigger. So this is going to be what actually automates or starts the actual, trigger the account to be doing whatever it is. And they have added some new features in here. So you can see add automated trigger. We can basically trigger it off of leads events, custom activity events, opportunity events, and contact events, which is new and really, really amazing. And they are continuing to build out a lot of stuff in here. So maybe I want to say, hey, when a proposal activity is created, right, then we want to go ahead and send this off, right? So you can choose whatever you want. If you come in here, maybe it's like a lead event, and let's say when the current status is any of active client, okay? Then we want ABC to happen. So we'll do that. You can add extra filters and then click done. Okay. Then you can add your steps. So we have email, calls, SMS, assigning a user, tasks, or updating the lead status. So maybe when they're an active client, I want to send an email and an SMS with their onboarding materials and then update their lead status to onboarded, right? Whatever that may be. So you can do that. But basically you click on email, you pop down this, you can see all of your email templates, right? You could select an email template. Then send from. This says creator enrolling user. Now, if you're using something like Zapier to automate this, you want to make sure you assign a user in a custom field and you pull that user from that custom field. So maybe they're the closer lead owner or the setter lead owner. Okay. So really straightforward there as far as who you want it to be sent from. You can also select a specific user and send on behalf of that person. Okay. Then when it comes to templates, you can create a new template inside of here. So you can create a new template right here. You can create a new template from existing, or you can manage email templates, and it's going to take you to settings. Now, I would recommend if you are building these, go watch our other YouTube video on the channel that explains how to do this, because there is some best practices on how to do this as efficiently as possible, not get lost, make sure your templates are as good as possible. So we just want to make sure that this is set up, and then we click done. Then we add a step, and let's say we're going to send an SMS, and we're going to send this SMS, whatever it may be. And then we're going to say specific user, and it's going to come from Jordan, okay? And click done. Now, what you'll notice is you see wait 3 days right here. So we just click on this, and we can change this wait time to whatever we want. So it could be minutes, days, or hours. Minutes was just recently added a couple months ago. And you can make sure that that is sending out on the cadence that you want, all right? Now, if we save this draft right here, let's just save that. So if we save this draft and open this up, you'll see a different view. And you can see the steps right here, which is really important. You can see how many people are enrolled at any given time in each step. And then you can see how long the delay is. So I highly recommend after you write it, review this delay or this timeline and make sure that these are sending at the right time. Up top, you have active, enrolled, completed, and then goal met, average time to goal, bounced, and error rate. You can also click on the report, and it's going to take it in a little further. It'll show you by each step where everyone is sitting. Let's go ahead and look at one that actually was recently ran. We can look at this report right here. We'll let it load. It's taking just a moment to load. There we go. It's still not loaded. There we go. So we got 32 people who are completed, 100% goal met, average 3 days to goal, 0% errored, and 4% bounce rate. So that's pretty good. We can see here that 52% of people responded on the first text message. Another 50% on the second, and you can see that no one actually responded on these emails, right? So that's pretty important. You can also see how many people have gone through the step and then where people are inside of this. So really, really nice. If you click on this for the completed, you can actually see the contacts that reside inside of there. So again, that is nice because you could re-enroll them, you could text them, you could call them, you could do whatever you want with this list. And we'll go into smart views here in just a moment. So we went through opportunities, we went through workflows. Next is email and SMS templates. So again, watch the other video on this, but I will cover it briefly here. If you come into settings, you can go to templates and snippets right here. And you will see all of your email and SMS templates. I highly recommend if you're writing like a new outbound workflow or a workflow that has a lot of emails and text in it, that you take the time to go to settings and write those in here first. It's just going to make it way easier than trying to do it inside of the workflow builder. So when you come in here, all you're going to do is click new template, name it, make sure you use a really good naming structure, and you have organization to this, and then it creates your subject and your body. Now, when you do this, you write your message, right? And maybe I want like, hey, first name, blah, blah, blah. You have to use template tags. So you will see that template tag icon right here, and you can select whatever you want. So contact first name, for example. Hope you are doing well. And then maybe I want to add my username. So you're going to do user first name. So that'll be down here. User first name, Jordan here from, and you can even do company, right? Find the company name in here. See, and you can do custom fields. So pretty straightforward. You can add VCCs or whatever you want. So maybe you want to CC someone on your sales team every time this message is sent or this template is sent. You can do that there. You can have a default subscription link. You can have attachment, and then you can share it with the organization. If you want to use it in workflows, you have to make sure you share it with the organization, and then you just hit save. Okay. Now, if we click back here, we have SMS. Same thing. So we just click new template. You can put whatever you want in the template name, and then you have your template tag right here. So we can do the same exact thing, and then we can share it with the organization, and you can use those inside of your workflow. So pretty straightforward on email and SMS templates. Don't want to overcomplicate that. There's not much there. Just make sure you write good emails, and you'll be good to go. So next up is the settings section itself. And there are a lot of settings in here. So they just released dark mode. So you can come in here, you can do system or dark mode, and it looks pretty cool. People have been asking for this for like years. So that's great. Now, memberships will be what organizations you're currently active in, your role, and then how many users are inside of there. This is just a demo account, so you can see there's just 2 users. When we go to general, you can set your currency right here, as well as your organization name. Team management, this is where, and actually let me switch. I'm not used to the light mode. So let's go to team management. You can click right here to add a new user. You can enter the email. You can choose admin, super admin, or super user, and restrict it. If it's a sales rep, you just want to do user, and then it'll tell you how much based on your current plan that is going to be. Now, groups are really important. We usually set up a closer and setter group, but you can set up whatever you want. So groups are going to allow you to group people together in case you want to round robin based on the workflow or, really whatever. So you just hit new group, you select the users and name the group, whatever you want. When we come back to users, once they are in here, you want to make sure send as is on and auto record calls is on. That's super, super important. Get send as turned on. This allows workflows to send on the behalf of your sales rep. So I highly recommend everyone, no matter what, turns it on. All you do is go to send as, and you cannot turn it on behalf of someone else. They need to turn it on. So they log in, they go to send as, and you just toggle this on right here. Okay. So super, super easy. Now, once we look at roles and permissions, we don't do too much. There's not a ton of privileges that you can do inside of here compared to like HubSpot, but you can create a new role and you can decide what privileges or responsibilities and permissions to give someone. So maybe you don't want them to be able to view other people's leads. Maybe you don't want them to be able to delete other people's tasks, etc. So that is all inside of there. You just name the user, turn on or off, whatever you want, and then click save. Okay. Custom activities, custom fields, we already went through. Custom objects, again, we're going to go through that at the very end. Shared fields are very similar. It's basically a custom activity, but it's shared across multiple parts of your organization. Bear with me too. I just got plugging my laptop here. Make sure I don't die on you guys. Integration links. Integration links are pretty simple. It allows you to basically create a link that people can click on or sales reps can click on. Now, so basically, if you get their maybe their Instagram handle on the application, you can input that as a custom activity into the system. And then all you would do is insert the template tag for that. And then you would say, HTTPS Instagram.com / and then the username. And that'll actually pull up their username and pull up their Instagram profile right away. So you can use this for different things. The difference between lead, contact, and opportunity, you can just place it on different parts of the contact. So like on the contact here, I have a LinkedIn search, right? So it's LinkedIn search, results, people, keywords, contact first name, or contact name, right? So their whole name. So it's just going to go search LinkedIn based on their name, okay? Now, we mentioned scheduling links earlier. You can connect Calendly directly to here, or you can just create a scheduling link manually. So I can do test, and then I could put like a OneTub link in here, for example, click save. And then when you go to send an email, you can populate that. You can see that little icon right there. So status and pipelines, we already went through, so we don't need to cover that again. But communication is probably where the most settings are going to be. So when you are a new user, you want to make sure you go to settings, phone and voicemail, and then you hit new number. So you're going to click the plus icon and then personal number, and you're going to get a phone number. All you have to do is enter your country and then the preferred prefix. For example, Arizona would be 602, and then we request the new number. Okay. You can also, as you see there, you can request numbers to be ported over, or you can add phone number, an external phone number, maybe my cell phone number, right, that I want to forward to. Okay. Now, A2P, we have a whole nother video on this. So you can go check it's a little bit older, probably one of the first videos on the new channel, but it will be in there. It breaks down exactly how to submit A2P, but you must do this to be able to send SMS. So A2P 10DLC is Can be frustrating for people, but if you do it correctly the first time, it's not a big deal. That video will help. But you do need to register for that. If you want a text message outside of the US, you can register individually for the country that you want. Each is going to have a different regulatory body that governs what you can and cannot do, and you have to submit for that. Okay. Lastly, voicemail drop is in here. You can record a new voicemail drop. And when you're working on the dialer, you can drop the voicemail. So pretty straightforward. Dialer settings. All you have to set up in here is a predictive dialer calling abandonment message if you are going to be using a predictive dialer. If you have anything less than, I would say, about 5 sales reps that are calling at any given time, I wouldn't even worry about the predictive dialer. But if you do, then you can use the predictive dialer. Basically, that's going to allow it to call multiple, contacts at once, warm them up, and then, place them with any available agent. Okay. Note taker. This actually just came out literally in the last few days of me making this video. So the note taker is free for our organization during beta. I don't know what the pricing is going to be on that in the future, but very similar to, a note taker like Fathom, Zoom recording, et cetera, Read AI, whatever you use. So you can connect your calendar, sync that. You can connect Zoom, sync that. You can add note taker to all of your meetings or just your closed meetings, etc. And then you can actually name your note taker right here. I definitely recommend looking into that if it's something that you would like. Email settings. Inside of here, we talked about email signature is going to be right here. But really what we want to look at is the sending limits. So if you are going to be sending any type of high volume emails, make sure that you set up your sending limits, that they are, you're not exceeding the total amount of actual messages going out, because it will ruin your email. So set the limit on here. Make sure you don't go over that. You just toggle this on and then set your limits right here. Lastly, unsubscribe link. You can change what the unsubscribe link actually says, and then you can choose to always include in bulk emails and workflows if you want. Templates and snippets, we already covered. Send as, we already covered. Integrations. So there are a few native integrations. There's not a ton that you can connect directly with Close. More than likely, you'll be using Zapier to connect most of this stuff, but Close is working on having more integration partners and connecting it with workflows. Okay. Accounts and apps. Same thing. You can add, for example, custom email if you use something like SMTP servers or IMAP accounts through Microsoft, maybe. You can connect to me here. And then you also have authorized applications, and then developer. So we use this quite a bit on our other accounts. You can grab an API key and you can run any type of API calls that you want. There's a ton you can do with Close's API. So make sure you check that out. For whatever you need when it comes to API, or get someone to make sure they know what they're doing with it. And this is where they would find it. They would just click new API key, create the key, and then you'll get this API key right here, and you'll be good to go. So next up, plan. They've changed the plans quite a bit. So at the time of this video, we have Solo, Essentials, Growth, and Scale. They just changed that from Enterprise, which is now a legacy plan. These are the options that you actually have now. So the predictive dialer is in the Scale option. And then user groups, which we use a lot, is in Scale. If you don't need either of those, you might be able to do Growth, but I highly recommend spending the money to get the right plan for your organization. And then you can add the call assistant on $50 monthly access, and then a 0.02 per minute on recorded calls. Payments there, and then usage. Lastly, you want to make sure you have this set to refill automatically. Otherwise, your people will be calling and they'll just won't be able to call randomly. And that's because this hasn't recharged. There's like a monthly budget that you have exceeded, and yeah. So just make sure that you have this set up. And then lastly, plan usage. You have kind of a limit on each of these. Most people, if you're on the scale plan, the highest one, you're never going to exceed those pretty much ever. So just keep that in mind. Next up, another really, really important part of this video is the smart views and filtering. And by far, probably the coolest thing. We have a whole nother video on this. But when it comes to smart views, we have a million things we can sort by over here. So basically, when you click on leads, we'll be able to, or contacts, same thing. You can see the same thing. It's just contact versus lead. So when we come in here, we can see a bunch of different, fake leads. If we actually come to the right-hand side, we can filter by, let's say we want anyone with a current status of bad data, right? So they actually have a bad phone number in the system. There you go, boom. So we can actually see that it now filters this out. So once you stack a bunch of filters, you can save as right here and name it whatever you want, and then decide who in your organization to share it with, okay? Now, this becomes really powerful because you can create basically dial party smart views, or what we call them for outbound dialing, for example. So let's say I want to talk to everyone, custom call, custom activity. So we can sort by custom activities. Let's say anyone who had a call booked, right? And they don't have a call completed activity. So call completed does not exist. Okay. And again, we have a whole nother video on this because we can spend an hour on smart views alone. But there we go. And then we can say, and communication, latest communication date is not within the last, let's say, 30 days, right? Okay, perfect. I want to go call all these people. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this as test YouTube and save that. Now I can share this with people in my organization. So if I come over here to the right-hand side, I can click on the little pencil icon. I can share with specific users. I want to share it with the setter team, for example, and the closer team. We'll save that. Boom. Now they have access and they'll see it on this left-hand side. Now that you have a smart view, we can basically do a couple things. So we can send a bulk email to everyone on this list. We can click and start calling them using the dialer, or we can click enroll in workflow, and we can enroll all of those people to an actual workflow. So pretty straightforward, but super, super powerful. You have so many things you can actually filter by, and so many ways that you're able to actually filter. It's far better than pretty much any other CRM when it comes to filtering, which means we can create great dialing lists and really get after it when trying to call those people. Okay. Now, we highly recommend that you organize your smart views with emojis. You'll probably have like these from Close when you originally get in here. But ultimately, you want to make sure that that they're organized as possible, and that it's easy for a sales rep to actually see what is going on in there. But yeah, check out the other video for a more detailed synopsis of that. But that is pretty much it. You have smart views saved on the left-hand side. If you want to create a new one, you click on leads. You come in here, you create whatever filters you want. Say, there we go. Okay, cool. And then we just click save as, and that'll save it for you. Okay. One hack, actually one special thing that I'll share with you is when you are on let's say this thing right here, you can click sort, and then you can actually sort by like number of calls. Okay, so number of outbound calls, and you're going to sort by ascending or descending, and then you can also add number of calls over here on the right-hand side. So now you can build a list, and then you can also sort it by the leads that have the most calls, the least calls, whoever you want to call first. So I can see outgoing calls is 0. If I switch this, I can see outgoing calls is 1. So maybe I want to start with everyone that doesn't have a call and call in that order. That is super, super helpful. And you can actually stack up to 3 of these, right? So you can pick another one and say D created, okay? And then you can drag these up or down. And yeah, so you'll be good to go. So pretty freaking cool when it comes to that piece. And then the last thing is custom objects. And yeah, this video has everything you'll ever need when it comes to Close. But the last part is custom objects. So if for some reason custom activities is not enough and you want to create a custom object, I'll show you a use case in a moment. You can create a custom object, which is, instead of an opportunity or a contact, you can create a custom object, which for us, one example or use case would be, Let me see if I can pull up our close account here, and we're going to go to this, and we're going to go to leads, and we're going to click right here, and we're going to go custom objects. So you can actually filter by these, and then we're going to say a marketing analysis has been completed. Okay. So these are all leads that have marketing analysis, and that is because it has a custom object. So custom objects, you just click right here, click new custom object, create the custom object, and then add whatever properties you want to it. Again, that is basically creating something that is the same as an opportunity or a contact on the lead profile, but it is a custom object. So it doesn't have to be one of those two. A lot of use cases would be like wholesale real estate. We create the home and we put the home on the left-hand side of that contact. So at the end of the day, you could spend so many hours learning close. I hope this video gets you closer to what you need. If you watched to the end of this video, thank you for staying with me. I hope you got a ton of value out of this. I hope you know how to use close a little better. And if there is something that you don't understand or something you need support with, the only thing we really haven't covered is reports, which we can do in another video, but leave a comment in the description below. Let us know what you're struggling with. If this is something you would like help with building, regardless if you're on Close or HubSpot or any of these, click a link in the description below or on our main profile or channel and schedule a time to talk with me or someone on my team. We'll point you in the right direction, make sure that your accounts are set up correctly and you're making as many sales as possible. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Cheers.